The bathroom open for some reason. Bit of a mess. Clean up, Emmy. Emmy. Oh yeah, she's an alcoholic. Good. Hey, what's up? Is that a, I was gonna say a pillow fort? No, it's just he's just under a blanket. Huh? Emmy, are you okay? Emmy, are you okay? Are you? Isn't that a song? Anyway, Emmy, are you okay? You look. Have you been drinking? You have a fever? What do you want? I told you to leave me alone. I'm worried. So you're noticing now. But that's all it took. Years of suppressing my suffering and just a few days not being there for you, you suddenly care about me. So pathetic. I really believe you cared more than that. How dare you even show up here? Didn't we talk about this already? Really? You just don't ever give a fuck about me. Not even when I tell you to never talk to me again. I was just worried. Really. We're friends after all, right? Excuse me? You have the gall to call yourself my friend after what you've done. And don't you dare give me that sad smile of yours. I'm so sick of you. I don't want to see you. I'll call the cops so you don't leave immediately. Your arms. Don't look at me. See? I'm not joking. I have a frickin' knife. I'll shank you. Get out, or protect myself. A knife? What have you been doing? You don't give a damn about it anyway, so why should I tell you? My blood could literally drip into your eyes and you would have noticed. Unless... Don't tell me. You're actually over Liam's death. Please, give me the knife. It's dangerous. Wait. You're telling me you're over it? Don't you remember when you came home and saw him the day after your fight? How you started... I was gonna say how you started laughing at his body. Wait, no, that doesn't seem right. I don't know why. Anyway. How you stared at his hanging body for hours before I found you. How badly you wanted to end it all, and how hard I tried to cheer you up. How you trampled my feelings for years, claiming you can't spend time with me anymore. Come on, Niel. Have you forgotten already? Emmy, please. You're drunk. So what? It doesn't matter anyway, does it? Emmy. Get out. Get out of here. I don't want to see you. Please. Don't look at me. You fucking touch me. That's when I suplex her. K.O. Huh? Alright. Those funny looking eyes. Alright, so, okay. Extra chapter. It's the Emmy chapter, I'm assuming. Ooh, that was unexpected. What? You're here with me? Why? Well, shit happens? Okay. But let me see. Younger, hopeful, optimistic Niel? Your self-image is quite adorable. In any case, we have to find Emmy. She must be here somewhere. What, you want to help her too? Of course. She's... Oh, even if I didn't act like it, she's my friend. Well, you certainly can try. But you know how it may end. So what? I should just leave her and run? Hey, you did this. Don't ask me. So I'll fix it too. I helped so many people, but I didn't pay attention to her. I simply ran away from her because I knew she made me vulnerable. Fine. Well, let's see what we can do. Reckless as always. But if something goes sideways, I'm out. Don't count on me then. Sure thing. This part of me, I know too well. Alright. Party member. The witch. With the, I don't know, carrot dress. You know, just green and orange. Okay. Interesting imagery. Do we go upstairs? Or... A lot of hands. Kind of like almost angelic. Kind of like we're in heaven, in a way. Sky. Very aesthetic as well, you know? Because of the statues. Aw, look. She's so miserable because of you. I think if you gave her some time, she would eventually move on to forget about you. But you can't do that, huh? Maybe it's selfish, but I feel like we can make things right. Even if we end up as strangers later on, I don't want to feel as awful thinking about me as I felt back then. Well, if that's the case, I wonder if you'll succeed. After all, you're all alone this time. Unfortunately, your lines don't have such an effect on me anymore. You're just awful. Thanks. Whoop, whoop, weep, whoop, wop, weep. Ass. I'm just thinking the butt. What's going on here? Where are we? Wow, that's quite a change in perspective. At least we're not falling. But it's really strange. Is this a human back? We have the best spot now. Why don't we just sit here for a while? No, we can't. Meh. She's up there. I can feel it. I just see the ass crack. Don't worry, it's art, right? That's how it works? It's like a statue or something like that? I don't know. Niel, Niel, Niel. I see a lot of Niels. Okay, interesting, you know? Transformation. Look at what we have here. It's Mr. Cruel, the worst of traitors. What a pleasure to have you here. Emmy. Excuse me? Emmy is long gone. All that's left is despair and hate for you. How do you like that? Because I sure love it. Finally, I can detest you all I want. Emmy, I know you don't want this. Trust me, this is exactly what I want. I want to see you fall into a million pieces, or better yet, rip you apart with my own hands. Look into your soul all the way until the end. You will be remembered as, I know you're upset with me, but I'm here to fix everything. Like you did with Liam. Funny, really. Will you kneel my grave too, Niel? Will you kill me this eagerly? Rip my throat and watch me slowly wilt? What's the matter? Why aren't you answering me? Are you hurt? Oh, I'm so sorry. Come now, Niel. If you don't get serious, you'll end up as a special sculpture in my collection. Don't worry, though. I will stare at you day in and day out, until I've memorized every piece of you and my eyes start to bleed. This is love, right? Oh, Niel, Don't listen to her taunts. It's getting pathetic. I know. No need to help me. I know her as well as she knows me. I'm not helping you. I just can't stand the talking. Hey, who is she? In this world, it's just you and me, Niel. I don't know who she is or how she got there, but if you don't get rid of her immediately, I will get really angry. You wouldn't want to make me angry, would you? I'll turn green, you know, and hulk out. No, unless you want to slit my throat and not have to deal with my bullshit again. Now, aren't you cute, little girl? I traumatized him for years. Your little remarks will not affect him. Stop it. Niel, I really don't like her. Who is she? Emmy, we don't have to do this. Just come home with me. It'll just be like before. So that's what you want to do. You want to push me to a cage again. Force me to endlessly watch you from afar. No chance of being with you and no chance of ever running away? You're cruel, Niel. Really, I don't even feel like playing with you anymore. Let's end it here. No, that's not... Emmy, wait! So there's no way without a fight? That's what I expected. I really didn't want this. Hey, do you want a piece of advice from me? For real? Just try to convey your feelings to her. You can see that she's at the point that any sentence can change the course of your relationship by 180 degrees. Just remember that you may have been hurting her even more than you were hurting yourself. Okay, I'll be sure to help her. Seems like this body's no good already. Oh, anyway, it was fun watching you grow up like this. See you hopefully never. Noel? But are you done with those sappy farewells? I'll help you, Emmy. Good. So it's time to say our goodbyes. Niel? Can I save the game? Thank you, Tutorial Bunny. Save the game. Sure. This time I want to ask how to survive. Dodge Stalker's attacks. Her name is Stalker? Long enough until her feelings take over. Try to avoid standing on highlighted areas and being caught by sculptures. If you last long enough, perhaps something will change. Well, how about if I just stand still and do nothing? How about that? Oop. I got destroyed by the hand. What? I did it. I finally did it. You got what you deserve, Niel. Are you suffering? Tell me you're suffering. I need to hear it. Emmy, let's talk. What are you doing? I told you to stay away. I'm serious. We have talked long enough. But I want to fix this. Let me just help you. Are you listening to me at all? I don't need help. Get the fuck away from me. Well, watch the language, Emmy. No, Emmy, I don't want to hurt you. You should know that. Get the fuck away from me. Don't touch me. Try to calm down, okay? We can still Yeah. Don't touch me. Yeah. No. No. Just move away. I don't want to. Stop. Move away. Okay, move away. What are you? Huh? Emmy. Don't cry. It'll be okay. I just gotta take these antidepressants to, restore my HP. Is that how it works? What did I... No. It must be a nightmare. It's not real. Niel? No. Say something, Niel. But, Niel, no. I'm sorry, I didn't... No. Niel, please. I didn't want that. What should I do? Niel, talk to me, please. Well, first of all, you need to check his breathing. You know, you gotta do some first aid. No. Well, I assume she screams. She screams a lot. Going, Anyway, ending number 3. Please don't cry. You know, all I'm saying is the ambulance bill is going to cost a lot. She's going to be depressed from the bill that she's going to pay. Whether or not he lives. If he doesn't live, he's got to pay for the funeral as well. Anyway. Alright, well, obviously that's a bad ending. Let's see what happens if we don't simply let, Niel die. Oop. Ah, whoa. What? Like, get away from the hands around. There's a butt. Be careful of the butt. Maybe, I don't know. Don't stand the highlighted areas. Alright. Up, down. Comparatively, like, relaxing final boss music, you know? Compared to the Chapter 3 final boss theme music, I feel like. This hand's annoying, actually. It doesn't retract, so, like... Come on, go back to where you came from. No, stop it. Ow. Now, time to pop a pill. Delicious. Whoop. Ah, damn it. Stop it. I can't move. Stop it. That hand's like really annoying, actually. It doesn't... I'm assuming you can't... Well, can you go... Okay, okay. That's... I feel like wasn't communicated. But like the hitbox is just the hand itself. It's not the arm. You can actually go under the arm. As it turns out. I wish that was more obvious. So you can actually just go around circles. Pop a pill. Remember, kids, do drugs. The moral of the story is to do drugs. Get a well-paying job so you can get all the drugs in the world. And then you just simply do them. As prescribed by your doctor. But if you can't afford them, then I guess you just die, I guess. Yeah, the head falling from the... now it makes sense, but like, you know, I thought you're supposed to like dodge the head itself, you know, even if it's not in the highlighted area. Yeah, I don't know, it's something to do with like depth, I guess. It's the like the 3D, you know. I can't describe it, but you know. Anyway, Emmy, it's dangerous. Stop. It's dangerous. You don't want this. This is not you. You don't know me. You don't know me at all. I'm no longer the quiet, docile girl by your side. At least I don't have to hold back. No. Like the head itself, I thought you had to like dodge like vertically, but no, it's coming from top, I guess. Like if you imagine if this is a 3D environment. It's confusing. I don't know. Anyway. Roop. I mean, the idea is kind of cool. I don't know. I just wish, I mean, you know, this like boss fight, I think it's alright. But I feel like, instead of attacks being, you know, telegraphed by simply the highlighted areas, I wish it was just simply animated in such a way where it's obvious where you need to dodge. You know, if that makes sense? I don't know. But again, it's an RPG Maker, so maybe that's why it's limited. I was just thinking like it'd be more immersive if it wasn't like these, you know, highlighted areas. But you kind of need them, I guess, in order to tell the player where not to be in. But you know, I mean, it's very similar to the other final boss. I think it was in Chapter 1, right? Act 1. Had a very similar idea. I also feel like these fights where you just dodge the entire time kind of last a little bit too long as well. But stop it! Taking all my pills. I'm assuming this is the actual final boss. So, doesn't matter. And looking back, I don't know what I even saw in you. You're just a funny little boy now. Why did I even bother watching you? I guess you just have bad taste. Well, I guess I meant nothing. It's my fault I hurt you. You really think an admission of guilt will fix anything? I knew it was your fault since forever, but saying it over and over no longer brings relief. I think I just want to take a look inside you too much, Niel. I know you don't mean that. Which way is it gonna go? I don't know. You would think there'd be sound effects as well. I mean, there's that sound effect of being crushed by the hand, but you know. There isn't any other sound effects. Pop a pill. Pill's here. Yep. You alright? You done? Are you done, Emmy? Are you done? Summoning giant hands to crush my body? You done yet? No? They're not done yet? Alright, please stop. This fight is pointless. You know, I could just dodge everything really easily and have a lot of, HP potions. I don't want to hurt you. But I do. Very, very much. I want you to feel it. Suffer. Suffer. Suffer like me. Zetsubo. Boop, 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 boop. Ah, damn it. Ah. Sometimes I get stuck. There's nowhere else to go. Across the butt crack? Yeah. Dangerous position to be in. Oh. Whoa! Oh no, I've used up all my pills. Oh no. That's not good. Ah, damn it. Where'd it go? Why isn't it working? Cut it out. Stop healing. That's cheating. Why can't you do what I want just once? Leave me alone. For good. I don't want to ever see you again. Emmy, I just want to talk and explain everything. After that, I'll go away. I promise. I don't need any more explanations. You only mess with my head again. No, really. I'm so sorry. I just can't watch you get hurt because of me. No more healing. I have painkillers. I'll use that in a cinch, I guess. Or what's the word? In a cinch? In a clinch? When I need to. I'm assuming there's some kind of invisible timer, you know? Is it like a minute long every time? It feels like an eternity. Ah! Oh my god. Okay. Painkillers. I use painkillers. I'm invincible. 1 HP in a dream. Oh, fingers were off. I don't wanna redo this. In fact, let me use everything. Caffeine pills. Woo! Wow! Hee-haw! Yee-haw! Woo! Can't catch me. Uh-oh. Can't catch me. I am speed. You cannot catch me. Okay. Well, now you can catch me. Alright. There you go. You don't deserve happiness. I won't let you. I hate you. So much. Emmy, you don't need to fight anymore. Neither me nor you want to. You don't understand. No, I can't let you after all you did. No. Let go of me. You may hurt me now, Emmy. I just want to be with you now. As I grab her waist from behind and then bend over and suplex her right on the head knob. and then I do a choke slam. No, Niel, I knew you never meant to do anything stupid. So lonely, Niel. All these years I wanted to be with you. Yeah, I was right, by the way. It was a love triangle. And anyway, hope you overcome all those feelings after Liam's death. Like you noticed me at last. So terrible, I used his death to maybe make you. It caused you a lot of sadness and pain. Couldn't even be a good friend to you and have an honest conversation. Liam wasn't perfect either. Nor were the people I've helped. We just need to acknowledge our faults instead of hiding them to the point where we become someone else entirely. I just couldn't bring myself to stop loving you. I tried so hard, but yet I still love you so much. I didn't want any of this. You know, people can help each other. We have the power to save another human. If one person is not enough, maybe all it takes is a couple more. The most important thing is to realize you can be saved too. You just need to believe it with all your being. Being? Just need to believe it with all your being. Don't give up and let others help. I just realized it myself. So then, will you help me? Of course I will. I won't let you down. I'm never gonna give you up. Never gonna let you down. No, anyway, I need help too, but if we try hard enough, I know in the end we'll both be happy. Alright. Maybe there's hope for us after all. For sure. Let's clean up this mess. I owe you the cleaning. Don't mention it. I owe you cleaning? Or I owe you for the cleaning? Anyway. This was not the end of the story. It was the start of the real fight. The fight for our happiness. This time, however, I was no longer alone. Emmy and I started going to therapy. That costed money, but good thing, because of my promotion from the job, because of nepotism, I was able to afford it. Anyway, slowly but surely, we made our way towards joy. And still, I stayed in touch with everyone I met along the way. Okay, well, that's, yeah, Felix. Felix still would meet me outside my building to talk about school and his new friends he made. He really managed to go back to a normal life. Yulia? Yeah, was it Yulia or Yuria? Oh, no, it's Yulia. I don't know. Again, Yuria is a different... Again, I'm thinking of the NPC in Demon Souls. Anyway, Yulia sent me pictures of her and her son getting by fine. She even got a good-looking job offer. We meet on weekends occasionally. Right. Will and I would still meet at work. He never gave up, but slowed down, became much more reasonable. We would often go out together. He wore a t-shirt instead of a suit. It was crazy. Niel didn't enter my life again. She vanished from it as suddenly as she made her appearance. It's like this weird, like, you know, like anime waifu in my mind. And though it brought me relief, I also felt an undefined emptiness inside. The absence of her voice in my head was both a pleasant change as well as something strange. And of course, I still thought about Liam. I still felt the sadness, yet it was not the same sadness as before. I made peace with the way he had passed. I tried to understand his emotions. I realized he was just lost, more than any of us. He would never want to follow, or he would never want me to follow in his footsteps, so every day I tried hard for him too. Our world has finally started to regain its colors. But everyone still has big noses for some reason. Now, that's the credits? Okay, alright, that's happy ending, whatever. I'm assuming they still stay friends, I guess. Emmy and Neil, because I'm just thinking Neil's just super gay. Unless he's bisexual, I don't know. Anyway, I don't know. I think it's just implied they stay friends. That's kind of it. Anyway, but yeah, I guess that's the game. Yeah, I mean, overall, it's pretty interesting. I liked it. Very Persona, I guess. Kind of a Persona-esque kind of plot, really. Persona 4 in particular, obviously. Or like you go into people's heads and, you face their dark, or like the origin of their dark trauma, and then you beat it up, and then you win, right? So I guess there's no like traditional RPG mechanics, so you don't literally do that, but it's kind of like that, in a way. Yeah, pretty interesting. I'm just trying to think what else I want to say about the game. And the visuals, they look alright for the most part. There you go, ending 4. I'm just kind of like stalling. I just want to see if there's an extra epilogue or anything. I mean, that was the epilogue anyway. Oh, of course. Okay. Never mind. There's more. And I'm just like this nameless faceless silhouette. Oh, so they didn't close the place. Weird. I'm a great person. Hi. Just use the jukebox. Oh, okay, whoever you are. Maybe I'll listen to some music. Sure. I'll listen to... which one's the one that's like basically like a rave? Did this one? How do I play it? I guess it's that one. No. I thought it was keep playing even after I exit. But anyway, that's just the music player. Looks like they're the only ones here. Ooh. Okay, well there's everybody. Will, Felix, Emmy, Julia. Everybody. Can I interact with them at all? No? They're just having a great time, and I'm just, not allowed to hang out with them. They're the main characters. And these people. These weird people that are like side characters in the bar for some reason. Ugh, seems like they have a break. Well, anyway, I shouldn't drink that much. I'll just go home. Okay, that's it? Just kind of look at them in the background, we're just a random background character looking at these other characters that are much more colorful and have much more development behind them. And I'm just a nobody. Oh. What's that? Shots fired. What the heck? What the hell? Somebody! Call the ambulance! Alright? Sudden, like... I don't know what? Such a mood whiplash. So we aren't there yet. Good. Great. I don't know what that meant at all. Might have been a reference to developers' other stuff? I don't know. I'm not sure. I don't recognize the characters, the bar characters, but apparently one of them got shot for some reason, and I have no idea what just happened. I don't know. Maybe it's like a cliffhanger, like maybe it's like a teaser for like their next game. I don't know. I don't know what those characters are. I'm not super familiar. But I don't know, maybe it's something. Maybe it's a reference. Anyway. But other than that weird little interlude, I guess, or like stinger, I guess. My thoughts about the game. So overall, yeah, I think it was pretty okay. I did get immersed in the characters. I did like the idea. The way they show the characters through the dream world and through real life conversations is kind of a neat idea. But I kind of wish they focused more in the dream world rather than like going back and forth the whole time. I don't know, it just felt weird doing that, but I don't know, that's just my opinion. The characters are interesting. What else? The visuals itself as well. They look fine for the most part. The only criticism, but not really criticism necessarily, but like more so just what I don't like personally is the noses, right? I say it multiple times. The noses, for some, I don't know, it's just not very consistent. I don't know. It's like sometimes the characters have giant noses in a lot of the CGs, and yet they have small noses sometimes in the portraits, and like I don't know, it's just confusing to me why they have giant noses sometimes. You know, it doesn't feel right. You know, the proportions just feel like out of place for some reason. I don't know. There's a big nose right here, so I don't know. It just doesn't feel right to me. It's just way too long. I don't know. But that's just my opinion, I guess. Yeah. But that's kind of. But you know, that's really it for the visuals. Other than that, it looks pretty okay. You know, they use some like abstract art, I guess, or how do you describe it? Like real photorealistic art for like the for the dream worlds, which is kind of interesting, I guess. Yeah, I mean, again, I like the idea that you're exploring the characters like kind of like trauma through the dream world, and again, I would have preferred more. It was more symbolic though, instead of like just a kind of like, again, we keep breaking back to reality, which kind of like, I don't know, kind of breaks my immersion. You know, I feel like would have been better pacing would be if we just spent mostly in like in the beginning we start in the real world, then we go into the dream world, and then only at the very end do we snap back to reality. You know, instead of like going back and forth. You know, kind of break. I feel like then you're telling like two stories at once, and I don't know. I mean, I guess you can do that. It's just for me, it felt kind of like I felt for me, it kind of felt like it was weird. Because why are we spending time in the dream world, then having a conversation at the same time? This dream world like gameplay is meant to represent a conversation, I guess, and I don't know. It just felt like we kept going back and forth a little bit too much. Like, that's just my opinion. Otherwise, I thought it was fine. I mean, yeah. I mean, other than that, I guess my criticisms would be, I mean, for on the writing, it definitely needs a bit of proofreading. I feel like it's a little bit inconsistent here and there. I mean, other than the typos, I do see a lot of typos. Beyond that, the contractions as well. I feel like I don't know if it's intentional or not, but sometimes Niel in particular, sometimes he uses contractions, sometimes he doesn't. You know, you got to be consistent, right? In terms of the English language, if you're going to use contractions, you got to use it for the entire tone. And again, unless you're changing it back to formal for whatever reason. But otherwise, whether or not you use contractions, you know, like I will or I'll, you know, instead of I will, it's I'll do this or I will do this. Those two like tones are different, you know, so you got to pay attention to that. You got to keep it consistent. But that's a kind of like a sticking point for me anyway when I read the dialogue. I guess that my biggest criticism definitely would be the gameplay. Well, I do like the idea because there's a variety of minigames you can go through in this game, and it's not that punishing really, because even if you lose, all that really matters is the final boss, it seems like. As long as you beat the final boss, it's fine. Though it is made easier by, you know, actually winning the minigames. But I do really feel like the minigames are rough. You know, a lot of them are kind of rough, and they kind of don't fit the game, really. They're just weird. You know? I think the biggest ones for me, definitely, I mean, the ones you can fix, definitely. The one in Act 1, in Chapter 1, with Felix, there's the point-and-click adventure game where you're stuck in the jail cell. One of the notes says like a code that looks like an I. You know, and that's just a font, really. So you really need to fix that. It looks like an I, but actually it's a 1. You don't want that ambiguity, you know, in like a puzzle game, because you need to not be ambiguous. If you're too ambiguous, you know, it just makes it frustrating. So I feel like you need to fix that. You know, the font needs to be fixed for that particular hint or code or whatever. I guess second of all, the boat minigame was like, for some reason, really hard in Act 2 with Yulia. I don't know, the boat just goes way too fast and the controls are not very responsive. So I feel like to fix that, definitely just make the boat a lot slower. Why does it have to go so fast? It's just so difficult for no reason. So like it really needs to slow down. At least that's kind of like a band-aid fix. Ideally, you would make the controls more responsive, because anytime I press up or down, it doesn't go immediately up or down, And I think again, it's because of the RPG Maker engine, where like you have to move in the grid, but like you're automatically moving at the same time. That's not great. I feel like, especially in an auto-scroller, you should really like slow it down, or at least give the players some agency to slow down or speed up. Yeah, I know. For example, a lot of like old school games, when there's an auto scroller, you can actually slow down by pressing, left or whatever. You like press the opposite direction. That would be nice, but I don't know. I feel like that needs to be made better. And I guess the final boss in the second chapter as well, Act 2. There needs to be visual feedback as well, visual or audio feedback when you're interacting with the deaf or whatever, the deaf character. Because in order to defeat it, you actually press it multiple times, which wasn't obvious. Even the tutorial bunny didn't really mention that, actually. She didn't say to press it multiple times, simply said to interact with it or press the spacebar or whatever. But that did not, again, it wasn't obvious that you need to press it multiple times. So there needs to be some visual feedback, like when you press the button, like the character or the monster needs to glow or flash or whatever, something to show that the player is doing something. Otherwise, it doesn't look like they're doing anything. And that's what happened to me the first time. I thought I wasn't doing anything, so I just went somewhere else. I thought I needed to do something else, but actually, you need to press it multiple times. So anyway, that's a gripe too. And yeah, and just in general, I feel like the minigames, they're like, for some reason, sometimes really hard. It needs to be, like either like a longer timer, or maybe, again, I feel like it needs to be more, just less like weirdly obscure sometimes. I don't know. I mean, another one was definitely Act 3 when you had to like make the blueprint, right? And that was kind of weird. The instructions were very ambiguous on that too. Like, you're supposed to start from the bottom. What do you mean by the bottom? The bottom layer? Bottom like vertically? What do you mean? It's like, that's confusing as well. I wasn't clear on the order where you gotta put the pieces together. Anyway, but again, so basically the mini games really need like I don't know, like they need they need to be polished much more. In my opinion, anyway. And I think the idea is that, they don't need to be made like super easy, because that's kind of the point of the items. The items are supposed to help you, but I don't know. I feel like it still needs to be balanced in the sense that it shouldn't be so difficult that you'll just instantly lose in the first 10 seconds. I don't know. There needs to be like a difficulty ramp, Anyway. But yeah, it's a rough around the edges, so I feel like they need to be polished. What else? Oh yeah, and the multiple endings as well. I don't know. I feel like it's kind of like, it depends, but like, I do feel like this game is meant to be played multiple times, right? Especially to get the, the true ending or whatever. The game kind of expects you to get, to play through the game multiple times, right? To like save everybody, or to save only one person, and then you see the other endings if you do that. Or you save nobody, you get the worst ending, things like that. It's interesting to see the different endings to get like a full story or full, context of the game. However, it's annoying to do so because it's very repetitive, because there's no skip function, or at least some kind of checkpoint, system at the very least. So I really do wish there was some kind, at least at the very least, some kind of checkpoint system where you could go back in certain chapters and activate different flags or something, or like, or at least, actually, when I think about it, no, at the very least, a skip function. I don't know. Again, it might be hard to code in the RPG Maker game engine, but definitely a way to skip. That would be great, because otherwise you make the player have to go through extra time just to see the same repetitive content, and that's not great, right? Especially in a game that's, I think it was described as visual novel-esque, I guess, kind of visual novel type game. So a very important feature of a visual novel is the way you skip, right? You gotta skip scenes, at least the scenes you already seen before. Otherwise, you kind of like, I don't know, waste the player's time, basically. And anyone who's much more impatient than I am And I would say I'm a very patient person, so they would just not bother in that case, right? So I think it's important to, like, again, make sure you're not wasting the player's time. So at the very least, some kind of skip function to skip cutscenes. That'd be great. Or a checkpoint system or something, you know. I know it's probably not as easy as like a Renpy, for example. And Renpy probably is just already in the game by default because it's made for visual novels. But in this game, it's probably not that easy. But still, gotta have something. I don't know, just so you're not going over the same content. I know in in other RPG Maker games, I know, for example, there's a flag that triggers whether or not the player's already seen like a cutscene, for example, so that there's a way to, like, there's a prompt that says, like, at least the ones that I always see, there's always a little prompt that says, like, oh, do you want to skip this session or whatever? Have you already seen this? You say yes, and then you skip it, right? So again, some kind of like checkpoint system. But anyway, other than that, so those are all my little gripes. But I guess overall it's pretty interesting. I like how, you know, kind of it explores kind of like morbid, you know, subjects and dark themes, despite my joking around sometimes. I don't know. I don't know. That's what happens when you know, when games go like too dark. I tend to like make fun of it sometimes, but you know, it's not that I hate it necessarily. I guess it's a coping mechanism. I don't know. Anyway, it's like gallows humor. Anyway, but overall, I do like it. You know, I do like dark and edgy kind of games, so I didn't mind the whole like psychological aspect of it. So, you know, I feel like I'm just kind of trying to think of other games that kind of do something similar, and you know, I was engrossed in this game overall. It's just that it's only because of the repetitiveness, because I had to go through the game like 5 times, you know, or in order to see everything. That's what kind of like that's what kind of like took away some of my patience of the game. So that's why I didn't enjoy it as much, maybe, you know, as I could have. But again, overall though, I did like it though. I did like the overall concept and everything. So it was pretty interesting, I would say. I mean, basically, it's just one big therapy session. And, you know, the real moral of the story is just to go to therapy, I guess. You know, anyway. Yeah, I'm trying to think. I mean, I do like the bad ends as well. Yeah, it gets pretty gory, but I guess most of the gore really is within the dream world. So like, it's technically not real, you know. But yeah, I do appreciate the bad endings and everything. I do wonder about that Niel, though, the purple-haired anime girl that represents, you know, Niel's trauma and depression. Like, she's an interesting character, but like, she doesn't seem to amount to much, really. She's like, it's implied that she's supernatural, apparently, according to Sasuke, you know. Like, she's like an actual like thing, you know, that like invades people's minds. You know, it's implied that she does that, right? It's implied that she goes into like people's minds who are like suicidal or something, and she like taunts them or whatever. And like, she's actually relieved that anyone who gets better, she's actually relieved about that, so she leaves. Apparently, that's what it's implied. So like, I wonder what she's supposed to be. You know, is she supposed to be just symbolic? Or she's actual like supernatural entity that like goes into your head for some reason. I don't know. It's weird. So yeah, I don't know that the character doesn't seem to be explored as much as I thought it would be. She seemed important, but she didn't actually. I don't know. She didn't really amount to much, really. So I felt like that was left wanting as well. I don't know how I feel about that. But anyway, yeah. I mean, what else? I guess that's kind of it. Yeah. It's a much more, I guess, overall realistic game, you know? I'm just trying to think of the developer's other game, and the other game definitely... I'm just trying to think. It's been a long time, but I just remember the other game that they made, Dream of Gluttony. Much more out there, you know, much more, I don't know, much more extreme concept. And this was much more just like, you know, again, psychological. It's just kind of like, these people are depressed. Basically, it's a depression game. I don't know. I think the addition of the dreams or I say dream, they're not really in a dream, really. They're not sleeping necessarily. It's just, I call it dream worlds because it's kind of similar to other games, that kind of explore it the same way. It usually are in dreams, but this one's not literally a dream, but kind of similar in the idea. I guess the only thing I do wish, maybe in Act 2 in particular, I wish it was more tense. The Felix one was actually, I think it fit the most. It was kind of like this weird clown world and everything was kind of surreal. So I think I like Act 1 the most in terms of the dream idea. I guess the final chapter as well, the question mark one, the fifth act. It's kind of interesting imagery as well, I would say. Though we don't get to explore it as much as Act 1, however. I do wish they did more of that, and because in Act 2 and a bit of Act 3, it's kind of a little bit mundane, In Act 3, there's, I guess, a bit of sci-fi, but that's kind of it, It seemed like completely normal otherwise. Act 2 as well kind of seemed like very normal, to be honest. Just kind of like the outdoors. That's kind of it. I mean, I guess the imagery of the photorealistic trees might be a little bit off, but otherwise, not that surreal. So I kind of wish they did more, a bit more strange things, Again, the whole clown world thing was definitely interesting because it was like really weird and everything was like off and odd. So that really fit, but like, definitely chapter 2 and 3, didn't do much of that, I feel like. Except maybe the final boss, but other than that, I feel like they didn't do much of the worlds of the Act 2 and 3, I feel like. So, a little bit more of that would be nice. But anyway, I think I'm rambling for way too long, so there you go. I think that's it for His Fragile Mind. I guess if you're on YouTube, you didn't know I stream these games live on Twitch, so check me out over there if you're interested. I also have other playthroughs on the channel, so you can look for those if you want. Thanks for watching. Until next time, see you then.